Hey everybody, I'm Stan,
I'm hard.
and we're The Basement, and today we're doing our reaction to the Nintendo Switch release video, I guess.
Yeah,
Their press conference on the Nintendo Switch, which happened yesterday evening.
Wasn't it also just in the morning too today?
Well, what it was at 7 a.m. this morning in Tokyo, which was actually at 10 p.m. last night, our time.
Well, didn't they also have one in New York too? Didn't they have
Yeah.
like a follow-up one?
Okay. Yeah. It was.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking the original conference where everything was released.
They just did a rehash.
They did a rehash, basically.
Okay.
And covered kind of more of what was going on in America.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that know me or have listened or watched any of our other videos know that I have, like, the biggest nerd erection over the Nintendo Switch. I haven't been this excited for a video game system since the Nintendo 64. Just because it's so different and kind of cool to me. I'm also a Nintendo fanboy, so that helps.
I'm a big PC gamer, so I have a tendency to lean away from consoles, but at the same time I am still excited for it because it looks different and unique. And I really like the Wii because it was just unique. And the Wii U, I wanted it to work, but it was okay.
The Wii U was good, but it wasn't great.
Yeah,
it was different.
I still bought it over any. I didn't buy PlayStation 4 or well, I guess I did buy a PlayStation 3, but I didn't buy an Xbox. So
if you look at the general proof that I'm a Nintendo fanboy, if you look at our wall of systems, aside from some of the more obscure 3DOs and stuff, the only things that are missing: PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. That's the only three systems that aren't here hooked up.
Yep.
So that being said, system releasing March 3rd of this year, which is kind of cool. I was kind of planning for that weekend off since my wife's birthday is 2 days later. I just won't be spending time with her, I guess, for her birthday. Sorry, honey.
You can cordon off, like, say, an hour here and there.
Well, maybe.
Probably, man. But that's surprisingly soon. I mean, like, I expected it to. I mean, I expected it to come out quickly, but that seems very sudden. Like, I didn't really hear much about it. Just all of a sudden, you hear about it. Hey, it's out, or it's coming out soon.
Everything, cool. Everything I saw was indeed on those lines of a March release date.
Yeah, I just didn't hear much about it. And, like, I thought that was neat that they didn't really tell too much about it until just this is still a perfect time. Like, they're giving enough warning. It's gonna get the name out there, but it's not forced down your throat like a lot of the systems are.
So when it releases, their price point is $299.99, $300. About what I expected. A little high for a Nintendo system, actually.
Yeah.
Usually they release at about the $200 to $250 price range, but
they were expecting that ahead of time. Rumors were, but this is quite reasonable.
Well, especially given the technology, you're getting a handheld and a console in one, which kind of brings us to the technology with it. The console itself is actually kind of like a tablet. Appears about the same size as a Wii U.
Yeah,
handpad.
And the controllers can slide off. You can use those as single controllers or double controllers, like nunchucks on the Wii. But they are. I heard they were kind of small, but at the same time, I never held one. You can't wait. You have to wait and see. But it's for most people, I think they'd be fine because they are very responsive, as I read.
I read they're responsive. They have a thing called HD Rumble, which is supposedly very accurate in defining objects and such.
I heard that the vibration was not that powerful. However, that said, it could be different between games. Like, I mean,
well, and the thing is do you really need a controller that rattles your hands off?
It's like deep bass. I mean, there's a point where it's just too much. There's no reason for it. So, if it doesn't have that, I'm quite alright with that.
The controllers also can be turned sideways to be kind of more like a classic NES controller. Well, actually more like a Super Nintendo controller. So they do have an R and L trigger button that's hidden when it's slid on the console.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat part.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Then there's also the dock, which is the part that actually hooks up to your television that you slide it into, so that you can play it on the television. It's a handheld and a console in one, which is kind of nice. there's 3 different methods of play, they say. There's the television mode, where you're using the controller, which there's kind of like a dock for the 2 side controllers. You play like a normal console. There's the handheld mode, where you lock those onto the console and make it into a handheld game. Then there's also what they call tabletop mode, where you use those controllers either sideways or independent, and you stand it up on the table.
Which they said that you can link up to 8 of the tablets together.
8 systems can be linked.
And also you
for
can,
local multiplayer.
You can buy more controllers. They said they had a pretty high price tag of $80. However, the fact that you get 2 of the little joypad controllers is that doesn't seem outlandish. I mean, it's high, but then again, if all other controllers are $50 to begin with, so or $60 even. But they also have the Pro controller, which you can get, which is just like a regular controller, which is $70. Which again, that's normal.
It is. Ultimately, I was going to save it for my closing thoughts, but that's just an example. My bank account's going to be empty. Once we get to games, like every game I want. Another interesting thing about another spec thing with it is the original concern was the battery life. There was a lot of speculation. It's going to have such a short battery life, blah, blah, blah. Depending on the game, they're averaging between 3.5-ish to up to 6.5 hours on battery, which is that's solid. I can't complain about that.
Yeah, but for personally, I'm not going to be going many places without a plug-in. I mean, I might take it on the road sometimes, but that isn't as big of an issue. However, that's still a long time. I mean, my phone won't last that long.
My biggest thoughts is, like, the only places it may go with me is Oklahoma for D-Day, but there's always a plug-in.
That's true, yeah.
And then would be like if I was going on vacation on a plane. That'd be the other place I'd use it. One thing, the online, kind of odd. They're talking about the online. I don't know if you saw it. Their online system, whatever, is going to be free until the fall of this year. Then there's going to be a cost associated with it. And they have not released details of what their whole online subscription service is going to include. It might be worthwhile. The other thing is there's no region lock. For those people that don't know what region lock is on, say, the Super Nintendo. Well, the Super Nintendo region lock was they made the cartridges a different shape. The newer systems, there's just a lockout chip that when that's put in, if it doesn't match, it's kind of like a copyright protection. Well, Nintendo has done away with region lock. So you could buy a game from Japan, play it on your American console.
That is very neat to me. I've always thought that was stupid that consoles did that, and I'm happy as hell.
It ultimately is very cool. So that's kind of the hardware-software aspect of it.
Oh, and also that if you sign up for their service, then they give you, was it classic games, they rotate them out, I believe it was? Or they give them to you short time? Or?
Yeah, you get short term.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work, though.
That's something of note.
So games that they revealed here, Super Mario Odyssey. That's what it's called, right? Mm-hmm. Looks pretty cool. Looks like more of a modern world Mario almost.
Your hat is weird and creepy, but it's awesome.
Yeah, there's a living hat, and you can use it like for a springboard and stuff. It looks really cool. Well, I want that. Looks like a typical Mario. It looks like Mario 64 kind of Mario Galaxy style Mario game, which very cool. There is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is an updated version of Mario Kart 8. I will get that because it looks like Mario Kart and it looks amazing.
I'm not huge sold on that just because it's a redo of Mario Kart, but at the same time, it's Mario Kart. You can't really go wrong with it. It's not going to be a bad game. It's just if you have the other one, I don't really see much of an update for it. But
They added it basically, to me, what I've seen of it. It looks like they took Mario Kart 8 and like all the features that have been in other Mario Karts, like the battle modes and items and stuff, and just kind of packed them all into it, which is cool to me. Not that it's not for everybody. If you have Mario Kart 8, I don't imagine you're going to get it. Trying to think of, there's Arms, which is kind of like a boxing shooting game with guys with big stretchy arms.
I saw that, and I just remember that, like, I'm waiting to see how it works, because on the Wii, I thought that Wii Boxing was going to be just tedious and unpleasant, but it was really fun. It was stupid, but it was fun, and this is just a better, way better version of that, but it's just, I thought you get tired by just constantly punching back and forth. However, it didn't. You don't notice it because you're so in depth to the game. And I think that's gonna be it.
That being said, we're gonna have Mark play Punch Out Wii. We'll see how tired he gets. Ask a robot. But there's 1-2 Switch, which kind of utilizes its. You don't play on the screen. There's like gunfighter games and stuff. It's kind of cool.
It's something that I really think that they should have bundled a game with it.
Yeah, that would be the game that should be bundled.
Yeah, good. that is something where it looks fun. It looks a lot of fun. I think that's going to be a popular game because it's just simple, easy to pick up. Anybody can do it. But I don't know if it's a $60 game.
Right. If it was a $30 game, it might sell a little bit better. And I think pack-in personally, but is what it is. The other big games that they showed were all things that I was just like giddy, like schoolgirl, like Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I thought of you.
Everybody knows I love Fire Emblem, and then you mix that with the whole Dynasty Warriors type franchise. Looks amazing. It was not a whole lot of gameplay out there of it, but what I could find. There's a new Shin Megami Tensei game coming. There's new Dragon Quest games coming. 3 of them.
So there was wasn't it 9 and 10?
9, 10, and then a Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. So I'm excited about that. Splatoon 2, which I love Splatoon. Splatoon, I hate shooters. And Splatoon was that shooter that actually got me. It's a shooter that your goal instead is to paint the whole stage. What else did they preview other than the obvious big title?
Yeah, Skyrim. Which
Skyrim.
It's a redo. It's a remaster. It's neat to see it played on that. Like I've heard that it's bad that they're just getting ports and things like that of games. However, I just remember Resident Evil 4 on the Wii was so much fun because it was with the motion controls. It was so different and unique. That's the one I got it on.
But there's a bunch of other games that have been announced. There's a lot of game companies that were like, hey, we're making for this. EA Sports is. Really, most of the major label companies have all said they're in. There's already 90 games in development. Which for a Nintendo system, that is amazing, especially since most of them aren't first party.
That's what I thought was the worst thing about the Wii U. It's just that I thought it was a good system. However, it had no games for it.
It was first party support.
It did have games, but there were not enough. It wasn't enough variety for me that I just got lost with it.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That was another game I'm excited for.
Yeah.
But obviously, the big game for it, the game that I just keep watching the trailer over and over, is Breath of the Wild, the new Zelda game.
It looks really neat, and I'm not a big Zelda fan. It looks really neat.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty much my reaction.
It just took your Breath of the Wild away. That was terrible.
Mark ruined it for me now. I'm not interested in the Switch anymore. Glad I made this video so I could see how excited I used to be.
Let's go back and be like, and that's where it died.
But no, it has a solid lineup. I mean, the launch lineup, I'm kind of concerned the launch lineup, actually at launch, right now is a little bit weak. Within the first year, the fact that there's going to be 60 to 70 titles is exciting.
My thought that they're going to do is they're going to start out really small. Like, people are just going to try it out, get their hands on it, and then they're going to... I always think that sales help them a little bit, like not actual physical sales. Like if they sell a couple of games for cheaper, if they did that with 1-2 Switch or Mario Kart 8, if they just toned those down and be like, hey, get people in the door, get people started, and then around Christmas time, they throw out a bunch of games, like, hey, we have this, and then people will get all on the bandwagon, like, hey, well, they have these 2 games for really cheap, or this stuff for exclusives, why not buy it? That'll be something for a great under the tree gift.
Ultimately, two of my closing thoughts. One, my concern with it is that it's going to be like the Wii U was for me. I got the Wii U at launch. I've got every Nintendo system at launch, except for the Nintendo, because it wasn't around here. But every other system I've gotten at launch. Stood in line for the 64, stood in line for the GameCube. Didn't have to stand in line. Got a Wii at Kmart when everybody else was sold out. Nobody went to Kmart and checked. Got a Wii U at launch.
That's impressive.
But the Wii U, I got it at launch, and I got Zombie U, which was really fun. But then after I played that, the only thing the Wii U got used for like the next 9 months
I remember that.
was Netflix. That's it. That's my concern, is that they don't have the titles. That being said, in some of the stuff that was being said, Reggie, the president of Nintendo America, or president of director or operations, something, he's something in Nintendo America.
Something there up.
There was a hint about a Metroid game,
That'd be neat.
and what other franchise was it?
Oh, they have something that looks like F-Zero. It's not F-Zero, but it
Yeah.
looks like it.
But they were hinting at some major franchises making comebacks.
Oh, one other random game that looked neat is they have it's Tetris, but there's another
Puyo Pon or something like that.
That actually looks really exciting. Like that's
Yeah.
my probably most interesting game of it, just because I love puzzle games like that. But
And there's,
they have a bunch of games that they just flashed on the screen quick.
yeah. So we're looking forward to some more information, but I'm still excited. I believe my text message after I saw it was, "I've got a nerd boner a mile long." So that pretty much describes how I feel about this system. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, with me, I'm the skeptic. Like I'm probably gonna get it. I'm still gonna buy it, but like he said, it's like game lineup is bar none the reason we get it. I want variety. I love different things, and they have the potential. They have the hardware for it. They have very kid-friendly lineups, like more family-oriented stuff. But that's not necessarily a concern. But at the same time, I want to make sure that they have stuff that doesn't just appeal to simple stuff or stuff that's anime-related.
Oh, I just thought of one last thing. Well, I thought of another game. There's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is going to be on it, but there is a parental controls feature, which in the future would apply to me, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Where you can set how long your child can play.
That's neat.
It's all in an app. You can set it to where it's just going to give them an alarm on the screen, or where it just shuts the system down. It also will tell you what games your children are playing, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's a kind of like a scaling parental control, not just like, no, they can't play these games, or it's going to shut off. You can just be like, hey, I want it to pop something up after they play for an hour in a day.
I think that's a good idea.
And what the biggest benefit that they point out to it is like, okay, my kids, I look at my phone and my kid has been playing Mario Kart 8 really intensively, and some other racing game that comes out on it, and there's a new racing game coming out. Well, there's a gift idea.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You can get a view without having to go look over your child's shoulder. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that's part of parenting, is you should be paying attention to what they're doing. But it gives you another way to look at that stuff. You can't be there all the time.
It's something that if you have no interest in it, you can still look up there and be like, oh, hey, this is its idea for overbearing.
Right.
Well, it can be overbearing, but
But yeah, so basically, I'm very excited for the Switch. March 3rd. Mark probably won't get it edited on March 3rd, but March 3rd I'll be sitting here recording myself playing the Switch, I guarantee it.
I'm going to come over here and he's just going to be in
And if there's somebody who works for McDonald's that watches this video and I didn't get March 3rd off and I called in sick, now you know why.
Disclaimer, he did not actually call in on that day. This did not happen. If he's not there that day, then
I was very ill.
He died. Okay.
But yeah, no, thanks for watching, guys. Unless you have anything else to say, Mark?
Nope, that's
once again, that's what we know. The videos are out there. If you hit Nintendo's YouTube page, they're all on there. I recommend paying attention to it. It looks really cool. It's got a lot of buzz in the Nintendo, or in the gaming community in general. So we look forward to seeing it, and
it'll be something exciting.
When we get more information, I guess,
yeah,
we'll share that. So we will catch y'all the next time. Thanks for watching. Give us a subscribe. You'll see the next video when it pops up.
See ya.